Another one that's coming up in UFC 260 as the co-main event is Zhang Weili versus Rose Namajunes. Now, there's been a bit of hype around it just because Rose has been saying certain statements like better red than dead, and she doesn't like communism and she's all for freedom. And it seems to be taking more of a China versus America kind of fight, which is a bit weird.
It's a bit strange.
It's a bit strange. We don't typically see it. But to be honest,
I don't know if they were just throwing politics into it, but Weili Zhang's very, very humble.
I mean, very humble, and even had pretty good responses too. It was a bit weird. It was a bit weird because Rose is usually very soft-spoken, so it was very out of character.
Yeah.
It's very, very out of character. And our last fight was a grueling, one of the best female fights we've ever seen, but one grueling, close decision against Joanna Jędrzejczyk.
Yeah.
So now for her to fight young Zhang Weili, who is obviously a much larger fighter than her, it's not. I don't think it's the best matchup for Rose, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you on that point because Rose, there's nothing against her. It's just Zhang Weili has just put on so many good performances, and she's incredibly well rounded. I mean, in the UFC, she's kind of steamrolled through, and that fight against Joanna Jędrzejczyk was honestly probably one of the greatest, if not one of the greatest female fights of all time. It's as we know, we watched that card. People were saying, "Oh yeah, that saved the card." She retained the title. She's had it, and her previous fights. When you go back and watch her highlights, she's just ridiculously strong. She's very good in the clinch, and she's just well rounded. She uses her knees and elbows really well, and she just has a good ground and pound. So Rose has done really well against strikers. We don't really see too much of her wrestling because don't forget she lost to Andrade.
Yeah, Andrade previously,
so I'm just curious to see how she goes against Weili on the ground.
Yeah, that's true. But when we were able to see Weili versus Jędrzejczyk, you could see, look, that there's just like levels to grit, and holy shit, Weili just kept going and kept going. You could tell. I don't see output being an issue here, and I just feel like Weili will have the harder strikes because she's a much larger, tougher female, right? But the thing with Rose is the way she beats Weili, I think, relies hugely on her footwork. She's very, very good at distance control, very good at just coming shy of the punch and getting back in. I think that is the way she beats Weili. Avoids the takedowns, makes sure that she stuffs any takedowns that Weili puts out there. But Rose needs to make sure she's in and out of range very, very quickly, and she needs to get volume. She needs to get volume out of because she's not. I bet you right now she's not going to hit harder than Weili. Yeah. I think there's hardly any female fighters out there that hit harder than Weili.
The argument for Rose going around is that she's beat Joanna Jędrzejczyk twice, and it was clear cut. The first time was by a knockout. The second time was by, I think it was by the decision. I don't know. It was quite some time ago, but she's been there twice. And the argument that people are saying, oh well, Weili Zhang versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk was quite close. They say a lot of people argue. Quite some people argue that, Joanna Jędrzejczyk won, but Rose is like, nah, I beat her clearly twice, and you couldn't put her away. So that's the argument that people are saying on Rose's behalf. So which is a fair argument.
Yeah, I understand. And the thing with Rose is she's got really good footwork. She's obviously, she always has high amount of volume and a high volume of strikes, especially. But the thing is, that's the only way she could beat Weili. Weili, she's able to grapple. She's able to take you down. And the power in her strikes is she's relentless, and she's incredibly aggressive with her strikes. When she finds you hurt, she will run after you and just, she sees red, right? I don't see Rose beating Weili, to be honest. I think Weili beats Rose. And it could be, I believe she will knock out Rose.
I reckon.
I think Rose is very durable. But I think Weili beats her.
I think Weili wins by decision.
I think Weili knocks her out.
Yeah. We'll see.
knocks her out in the
One of the later rounds?
second or third round.
Second or third round, okay.
I think Zhang Weili is she's just the new standard for female fighters right now. And I know Rose is very good.
Yeah.
She's super good at range control. Like she's got good vision for able to look at strikes and being able to come in and out of distance, right? I just feel like Weili, she has no issue with output, and her strikes are so much heavier and harder than someone like Rose. I feel like Rose is severely undersized against Weili. And I totally see Weili beating Rose, unfortunately, because they're both very good fighters. I just think Weili is just a level above Rose, that's all.